What's happening, friends, Romans, countrymen? I'm just hanging out. That's about it. You can see a mustache hair curled up there in my line of sight. It's driving me nuts. So what's happening on the Yardism News Network today? As Curmudgeon alluded to, Monday, today is National Pronoun Day. Not quite sure what you're supposed to do on National Pronoun Day. Run around shouting pronouns? If you can't look at me and tell what's the proper pronoun to use, I feel sorry for you. And if I can't look at you and tell what proper pronoun to use, I feel sorry for you. And if you get mad because I use one that you don't think is the right one, Curmudgeon's got a seat for you to take. Tony, over to you for the weather. Thanks, Bob. Weather still happening. Just like it does every other day. People in California, I hope that's the only place. Talk about it's earthquake weather. It's earthquake weather. Ain't no such thing as earthquake weather. Nobody goes outside and says, well, looks like we could have an earthquake today. These are the kind of things when you spotting tornadoes and snowstorms and earthquake weather. 30 years ago tomorrow was some date in 1989. I think it was the 17th of October. When we had the great earthquake of the Loma Prieta earthquake out here. I wasn't out here. I was watching Al Michaels freak out on the World Series broadcast. "30 years ago tomorrow." And there's been all kinds of people since then saying, well, 30 years, there's going to be another big one. 30 years. So that's, this week, right? We've had two within 50 miles or so of my house this week that were over 4.5. Now those will get your attention if you're in the neighborhood. 30 miles away we were from the 4.5. Just kind of shook the house for about 7 or 8 seconds. Keeps you guessing. Is it going to keep going? Is it going to get bigger? Nothing falls off the shelves or anything like that. 30 miles away from a 4.5. Then the next day there was a 4.9, I believe it was. I think they've since downgraded it to a 4.7. That was about 55, 60 miles south of us. Which actually felt a little bit stronger. So a lot of people think, you know, an earthquake is a linear kind of thing. A 4.5 feels like this, a 4.6 feels like this, a 4.7 feels like this. No, it's more like a non-linear scale. So once you get up over about 4.5 or 5, every little increment is a crap ton more energy that's released. I can't remember the exact formula. It depends where upon that scale you are, but the higher it goes, the worse it gets. So the difference between a 5.5 and a 5.6 is noticeable, but the difference between a 7.5 and a 7.6 is very noticeable. Anyway, it's earthquake weather. Bill, how's sports? Thanks, Marv. Sports. Any NBA fans out there? Want to know who the biggest NBA fan is right now? The NFL. They're going, whew. Hold my beer, you said. You don't know what I'm talking about, go Google NBA or LeBron James in China or Hong Kong. Tell you somebody else that probably got fired this week in sports, and that was Colin Kaepernick's agent. He's going, what? He's on speed dial with LeBron James' agent right now. It's just a bunch of craziness. Bunch of craziness. What else is happening in sports? The Detroit Lions lost again this week. What's up, Todd? We do have a pick'em league on a YTPC football pick'em league going. There's a dozen of us in it. I'm not doing as well as I would like, but I'm not out of it by any means. A couple of good weeks, anybody right now could be right back into it. But it's fun. that's about all I got, man. Just kind of sitting out here chilling. I might do another video here in a minute on another subject that's a little more serious. Takes a little more thought and a little more time. I don't want to clog this video up. So if I do, and you happen to see it, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. Until next time, enjoy your pipe. Ignore the hype.